Hello, this video is intended to be a kind of a teaser tutorial on the XifMp program that we've been working on. So in essence, this program has gone through many rounds of development, and it's designed to do quite a few different things. What we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of quick demonstrations. We're going to talk about the details of what you're seeing, and then we're going to queue up a pretty big process and let that run while I do walk through some pretty detailed information on how the program is intended to work and demo some of it. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to actually show you by example what this program is intended to do. It's actually a Python script, so I'm invoking Python, I'm calling the script, and then I'm doing a -f to tell it that the folder that you want to sort and sift is the metadata folder, which I have built on this drive. And so it ran in almost about a half a second. It sifted through 71 images. It created a KML file, and we're going to go open that now. So that KML file would be here. And so this is a helper program for if you will, Google Earth. It's also intended to do some pretty heavy-duty lifting as far as sorting and sifting and analysis for you. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually queue up another one, and then I'm going to actually walk those through with you for the last example. What we're going to do is we're going to actually do a simple sort, and we're going to do one more. And we're going to come back and walk through these so you understand what these are actually doing. This is obviously a quick demonstration, and that one ran just in under 2 seconds. And the big dog that we have to run is, hang on 1 second here. We're going to queue that up and let this one run, and we're going to walk through the particular output on that for you. I'm just checking the commands on it, and okay, so to get into the nitty-gritty here, so the program is designed to sort and sift images. It can do sort and sift those and map those. So for instance, geotagged pictures from, let's say, smartphones or any other GPS tagging device can be mapped, which is what we've done here. Some of the basic functionality is I can go to properties, and I can actually see this is properties information for images not mapped. This was mapped because there was not mapped because there was no GPS. This was not mapped because it was not a file that contained Xif. So for instance, it's an RTF file. And we will quickly illustrate that. So within here there are some non-picture files, so it's also separating those out for you, and it gives you an output to say I haven't mapped these things, and these are why I haven't mapped them. So we're going to go ahead and do a cancel there. We can also expand this, and we can see for each location there is a camera icon. So that's a place mark in Google Earth, and we're zooming in on that. And what we can see now is we can see some GPS information. There's a block here of GPS data. This tells me this was tagged as taken with a Motorola Droid 4, and the software had no tag, means there was nothing embedded in the Xif data by the application. Of course, it gives me date and time original, and then I'm going to have to work on the decode. We got to clean that up a little bit. It should be telling you an Xif version like 2.2, or so you understand the tag structure that's being utilized. The other thing that's interesting is, this is great, and I'm glad that I can see that this image was taken in conjunction with other things. But what if I want to actually see the image, and I don't want to have to go out and open it up and go find it and try to make sure I have the right one? So in addition to building the place mark here with the camera icon, on the left we have a second item that's built based off of that image, and that is to fly into the photo. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going into the photo itself, and we're viewing it through basically href tags within Google Earth. So I can look at the image within Google Earth. I can zoom in pretty heavily, like, oh, what's on that whiteboard in the back. You might want to do heavy-duty review in a different app, but this is just quick review of what's in the content of the image visually. So we can go ahead and do that, and we're going to exit out. What we're also going to do here is we can see there's lines. So these get a little bit crazy, and these lines are basically telling me this is a temporal and spatial movement for this device. Now the lines do not represent actual movement. They're representing rough movement based off where the pictures are taken. So here's one. We can go and zoom in. You can get directions. Obviously you've got a lot of the Google Earth functions here as well. We're going to fly into the photo. And as we look at that, that's tagged there. Okay, so a wonderful image of a tinfoiled office, but apparently we like the lulls on that. But we've got other things that we can look at. So let's go down here and look at this one. This helps illustrate, and you're seeing Google Earth rotate because the tags are saying, okay, this picture, the camera or device was positioned this way based off of the image being taken. We're going to zoom out. Sometimes Google Earth does that. We're going to see that, and so it's been orientated into how it was supposedly the device was held as the picture was taken. So we're going to reorientate to north, and again I can zoom in to see this image this way as well, and I can zoom in and out within that particular view. I'm going to exit, and we're going to go back to a normal view. So this is an indication of, here's where the mapping is indicating movement based off of the 71 photos, and then how they were tagged. So again, these things start to get, you can get crisscrosses and things like that, so that can get a little confusing at times. But in essence, it's showing you the different movement. We're going to go to this particular one. And we're going to go ahead and close this out. And apparently I selected the wrong... Nope, okay, so it's the same one. So we ran it with a little bit... Okay, sorry about that pause there. Apparently I clicked the wrong button. So on the last one we did a remove duplicates, and we wanted to sort on that. So in addition to... So actually that is not the right one. So with that one, it's the same map as we can see on the screen, but what I've done is said sort it into mapped, not mapped, which is what the underscore or minus lowercase s does, and then the minus capital D flag is to move duplicates into the duplicates folder, and then it's also the minus F again is telling it which folder to search. So as we look, these were all duplicate images, and they're of course not going to be mapped. We're going to run this again. We're going to alter it a little bit though. It's going to run slower because I am running a different process that's still going. We're going to do a capital S. So this is going to sort the metadata folder, which is here, which is not, we just mapped from it and we didn't sort it. Going to run that again. It's going to take longer. It's done, so we're going to go find 525, and so we're going to open this one, And what we want to do is I'm going to quick clean up, because as you keep mapping, obviously you may not want all of these items on screen. And so the map is different now, and we're going to zoom in. So you can see we still have the photo down in Florida, but it doesn't have any lines to it, and that's because it's the only device with that particular make, model, and software version. So now the same group of 71 images have been mapped, duplicates have been removed, but if I look, when we have lines, that particular device had more than one picture taken, and it's showing you that device's movements. So for example, we're going to scroll down here. So here's all the different ones. Now some of them are single pictures only, so you're only going to have one, in essence, one image with very few lines. Now these are short lines because they're in close proximity to each other. So with that in mind, you're not going to see those things. But here we see, okay, I've got some pretty heavy duty. Like here's some good movement. So here's an image. We're going to zoom in on that. So this is just an example of some of the things that you can do. And I'm going to fly into that image now that I've looked at it. Again, this is just an example of what you can do with this software. Obviously it's a picture out looking outside of a car window, but again, provides you some ability to see this particular device based off of the tags and the information. I can see temporally and spatially the movement of that device in relation to this other device. Whereas the previous map just showed all of them nested together in their movements in sequential order and also spatially, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and remove this one, and we're going to go to what I call kind of the big dog process. So this one is, it ran, we invoked Python in our Python script, which is what this is. I said I want to run a radius of map everything differently from a control point at this lat and long, which are here, and then also anything within a radius of 1,800 miles of that location, map it differently. Instead of a camera icon place mark, it'll have a red paddle. And then I want you to sort it by device type. I want you to remove duplicates, and here's the folder I want you to sort. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We are going to go, I want to make sure I get the right, so it is 522. So we're going to queue that to open, and that's going to, it's a big file because there's 12,686, so keep in mind 12,686 photos were reviewed. MD5s were calculated on all of them, and they were compared to see if there were any duplicates. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to look, and I can see by device type all the different, if you will, cross sections of devices that were nested in that large sampling. So obviously a lot of information here. You can have, okay, so here's a good example of what can happen. So I had an Apple iPhone 5C, took the image, but at some point Microsoft Windows Photo Viewer touched it and altered the image. When it's raw, so Apple iPhone 5S with iOS 7.1 is tagged as taking that image. So this is the kind of power that you can see out of this app, and how quickly, again, here's not mapped, here's duplicates. So again, just a quick review of the file structure. We're going to come back, and now you start to see some of the complexities that come out of a radius mapping. So for instance, there's different colors based off device. There are images outside of the radius, which is the green line, but it's showing you on the globe where they were taken and in relation to your radius. If we zoom in really quickly, because we're actually kind of running out of time here. So here's an image in the zone. It has the red paddle place mark. Anything outside of which the green circle represents your radius you defined, it gets a standard camera icon outside of that. So these are some of the, and as you can see, I can turn on and off. There's white lines, yellow lines. These represent the different devices and how things were tagged. So again, this is a quick example. We're going to be making this available in the future. Please watch our website for more information, and hopefully you'll find this to be a beneficial app. Thanks.